elevated. Now it's my time to shine, yeah, let's go. Graduated, elevated. Now it's my time to shine, yeah, let's go. Major moves, power moves. Take it to the top one time non-stop. Gotta go, gotta flow. Take it to
My name is Noma Mguni and I am the host of Ph.D. Heart Talk. Today I'm going to talk to you about, your journey during your first year. So I have 3 P's. You have to be prepared, you have to be patient, and you have to be punctual. What do I mean by that? In terms of being prepared, you have to be prepared to be the subject matter expert in the room, to know it all. Yeah, disclaimer. But you have to be able to educate everybody in the room about, your topic, what it is, how it works, how, what, where, etc. Right? But also you have to be prepared for feedback in terms of it not being what you want to receive. So you have to be prepared to think, this is all for my development. All of these red marks, yellow, red, green, whatever color is being used or, is being written off essentially, or being cards or questions. Where do you get that from? How does it even work? Is that your opinion? No, that's not it, right? You have to be in that state of mind of being prepared for all of that. And then you have to be patient with yourself, patient with the deadlines that you set yourself, patient with the external deadlines, be it your supervisor, PI, be it, a conference, be it your PGR team in terms of your university. You have to be patient and not be so quick to be reactive. Essentially, if they give you feedback, take it on board. Think it's all for my development. And if you miss a deadline, forgive yourself. Love yourself, forgive yourself, and try and do better for next time. And don't set yourself, deadlines that will put you under duress. It's not necessary, it's not needed. This is a journey. It will take you 3 years to complete your research. So be kind to yourself, essentially. And that's why I say patience, right? And then be punctual. What do I mean by that? Be punctual with your thoughts. If someone asks you a question, ask yourself questions at home. Look at yourself in the mirror. Record yourself the way I'm speaking to you today. And start to practice, because that helps with your confidence. It helps with your public speaking skills, and it helps you to convince the room. If you start hesitating when someone asks you a question, they'll be thinking, oh my gosh, do they even know what they're talking about, right? We don't want people to think that. We want people to understand what it is that we're looking into and why it is so important that we have to look into it and spend 3 years looking into it, essentially, right? So punctuality is important in terms of thinking, timekeeping, and meeting your deadlines and your PI's deadlines, supervisor's deadlines, and external deadlines. So that's what I mean by the 3 P's. So that's prepared, patient, and punctual, right? And in terms of your first year, reflective skills are very important for your progression review meetings that you will have. You have to be able to reflect from the first one that you've had to the second one. Some universities have 1, some universities have 3. And also you have to be reflective in terms of the meetings that you have with your supervisors or supervisor, right? That is very, very important. The reason why I say be reflective, there's things that you might miss during the meeting, or there's questions that you think of, and then you get excited, you end up forgetting the question. That happens to me. Then I'm like, oh, I had a question, but then I forget it. But being reflective allows me, or gives me the opportunity to then send an email and ask the question if I have forgotten during the meeting to ask the question, right? And be emotionally intelligent. Remove your emotions, and remember, this is research, right? It is your baby, but remove your emotions, and that will help you to stick to the mantra, which is, it's all for my development, right? And time management, I've mentioned that. So, suggestion, I would say do a 9 to 5, go in as if you're going into work, or 10 till 6 or 8 till 4, whatever works for you. Have your lunch break in between, whether you want to have a 45-minute lunch break or an hour's lunch break. But if you meet one of your colleagues who's also doing their research and you end up having a coffee for 2 hours, that is needed for your mental health, because you're able to break bread or share in terms of your learnings, your experiences, what their supervisors told them, what your supervisors told you, and that is a part of the 9 to 5. So don't feel bad and be like, oh, I lost out on my day because I went for coffee with Noma. Like, no, it is very important for you to break bread with your colleagues, right? And also the ability to say yes and the ability to say no. It is important that your no is a no and your yes is a yes. Do not lie. And don't say yes and then you feel under pressure because you've committed yourself to so much and you feel like you're breaking point. That is a nice little recipe, I can never say the word, for burnout, right? We don't want you to be burnt out. We want you to enjoy the process. You signed up, so it's time to have fun. Why not, right? And in terms of critical thinking is a part of the reflective skill. It is important that anything that you do read, you read it with a critical eye. Be it your work, be it a journal, be it a book, critical eye. Start practicing your critical thinking skills. It might just be like, oh, do you know what? Jumped on the bus or in the bus, got a newspaper, the metro, read it critically, right? Don't just read just to take it in. Be a critical reader. When people think, try and go through the logic of where they're going, how they're getting there. Be critical in terms of your listening skills as well. It is very important, and this will help you when you go through your transfer of registration or your mini viva. You'll be able to articulate exactly where you are and where you intend to be. And while you're saying it, you'll be able to anticipate what the next question could be. Or if there's no question, you can add more so you don't get any questions, right? That's what we're working to. And the next one is the ability to listen and take feedback in and action the feedback. See, I'm a criminal in the sense of, like, if you're giving me a lot of feedback, I'll be writing it down, but I might just concentrate maybe on the top 5 and the 8 and the 10. I might miss it. I might just omit it, right? And then you come back and be like, but I said 8 and 10. But because I'm so focused on the first ones that I think they're priority, I've missed the 2 that probably are more important to my supervisor, because he knows that is where the interesting element of my research basically is based or found, do you understand? So it is very, very important that you take everything in, you reflect, and you go through all of the feedback and you don't omit anything, because it is important that when you're handing your thesis and they come back with more feedback, they're not repeating the same thing. Like I said, I'm a criminal. I've done it. And sometimes I'll sit there and I'm like, yeah, I remember you saying that. You said it last time. And I'm there like smiling because I know you said it last time, essentially. And the next one is the ability to ask questions. Even if you know the answer, right? It's not you trying to, take the piss, as one would put it. it is you trying to understand how other people answer the same question that you know the answer to. And that will help you with your vocabulary, and also it will help you to understand how it is answered from an academic standpoint. Like I came from industry and I've come into academia, so the way I answer things sometimes like, that's not really, our jargon. Get it together, and I have to then get the jargon right? So it is important that you learn how to answer questions, because again, it goes back to logic, it goes back to being reflective and taking that feedback in. So what do we need to remember during our first year is that we need to be prepared. Tick. Patient. Tick. And punctual. So thank you so much for listening to me. Yep. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Remember, hashtag Project Dissemination to the world and hashtag Sustainable Knowledge to the world. Don't forget to share with your friends and family if you think this video is all of that in a bag of chips. And also share your comments, because again, I don't know it all. This is a disclaimer. There's certain things basically that I've missed off, probably. This is not the only guidance that you will find, but I thought I'd share and help somebody. If just one person, that's okay. If 10, then brilliant. If 50, wow. If 100, So thank you so much for watching.